Republican Representative Louie Gohmert of Texas, who was most well known as the dumbest member of Congress, has tested positive for coronavirus. He's refused to wear a mask, and yesterday he was here walking with William Barr, the Attorney General, who was testifying who he could have infected, and he consistently made claims like this about COVID-19.
And I do want to advise our media friends before they write stories about how we didn't wear masks and we didn't possibly socially distance adequately, that you saw to it that we had tests and that nobody in here has the coronavirus unless it's somebody in the media. So the only reason we would wear masks is if we were trying to protect ourselves from you in the media, and we're not scared of you. So that's why we can be here like this.
You know, in the last week, we may have had 50,000 new cases. We're testing more than ever, and the big group of that is younger people that think that they're vulnerable. They go out to protests, they go out to parties and whatnot, and they think that they're just not going to catch it. Well, that's where the low death rate is, and those are the people and seem to be catching it. But in the last week...
Well, oops. Now you've caught it. Notice he was on One American News Network, that propaganda network that Trump loves so much. He's that far right. Louie Gohmert is insane. The other day, he introduced a resolution in the House to ban the Democratic Party. He's a bipartisan joke. I mean, even in the Republican Party, they don't like him very much. But he's a true believer. He repeatedly claimed that Al-Qaeda was training Hispanics on the Mexican border to be Islamists, whatever that is. He blamed the victims of the Aurora shooting at the movie theater for not shooting back and fighting back in the Dark Knight Rises shooting. He accused of Obama of trying to restart the Ottoman Empire. I wrote some of these down because I forgot a lot of them. The Terror Babies conspiracy, where he tried to link the Libyan conflict to Obamacare and that they were creating terror babies and it was purposeful. That was Obama's doing. He compared being gay to Hitler and bestiality. And he also screamed at Eric Holder, the then AG, not to cast aspersions on his asparagus, which I think was a slip of the tongue, but still just the cherry on top of Louie Gohmert's abject stupidity. With all of that said, I, of course, do not want anyone to be sick with coronavirus. It sounds extreme, and we know it's horrible. It really wears on your system. And additionally, he really could have infected a lot of other people, including Bill Barr, and including the other people in that House hearing yesterday for William Barr, where Gohmert was maskless at many times. The 66-year-old has been an outspoken opponent of wearing a mask throughout the pandemic, telling CNN in an interview in June, "I keep being tested and I don't have it, so I'm not afraid of you, but if I get it, I'll wear a mask." Mr. Gohmert has continued to go about his business in Washington without wearing a face covering on several occasions, most recently seen at Mr. Barr's congressional hearing this week. While he was not one of the Republicans Mr. Nadler reprimanded during the hearing for not wearing a mask, Mr. Gohmert was seen without a mask at the Blockbuster testimony. Several lawmakers who sit on the House Judiciary Committee are above the age of 65, potentially exposing them to further risk of complications if they were to contract the novel virus. So that's really scary. I mean, I just covered Pramila Jayapal, who is one of the best people in Congress, going in on William Barr. And for anyone, it's horrible. Republican or Democrat. You know, we have to be principled here, even with a straight-up moron like Louie Gohmert. But wear a mask. Wear a mask. It protects other people, you selfish a-holes. And that's what this is. It's just Republican selfishness crystallized. And of course Louie Gohmert has coronavirus. Of course.